Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
Subtle results, still you, but with fewer lines. Botox Cosmetic, out of botulinum toxin A, is a prescription medicine used to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better in adults.
Effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow and eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Tell your doctor about medical history, muscle or nerve conditions including ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. For full safety information, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.
This episode is brought to you by Opel, the first over-the-counter daily birth control pill available in the U.S. Opel is FDA approved, full prescription strength, and estrogen-free. Plus, there's no prescription needed. Finally, the days of needing a prescription for birth control are over. Opel is available online and at most major retailers. Take control of your health and reproductive journey with Opel. Birth control in your control. Use code BIRTHCONTROL for 25% off your first month of Opel at opel.com.
Hello.
Yeah. Happy Tuesday.
I'm so excited that it's Tuesday. No particular reason.
Tuesday's a good day.
Yeah, it's just the day after Monday and before Wednesday.
You
never know what's coming.
Say. Except you do, because it's Wednesday's coming and Monday just passed. Mm-hmm. So you actually know exactly what you're getting. I was just telling Melissa that I have to send her some Love Island edits just because I think she would love the people who I also love. And there's one that I'm gonna have to find it later. But I'm obsessed with Love Island. I can't believe it's ending. And it's devastating.
Well, I'm glad that you got to this point because when it first started off, you're like, ugh, I don't like this.
No, Melissa, that was the UK season, and I abandoned it to move on to USA. And Maud said, should we go back to UK? And I said, I can't. I can't go back there. I can't.
I don't see anyone talking about it.
No one really is. And everyone I know who's watching Love Island USA, it's their first season watching USA, and they're like me, and they only watch UK. And like really what it is like they know this, and so like I don't know why they kind of just said fuck it, or they like I don't know what they specifically got wrong, or they felt like they were doing right that didn't turn out right. But like what determines a good season of Love Island is like the fact that like you know it's a huge fucking commitment. So you have to have from day one, the first episode where you introduce like the OGs, like the people who that's referred to them as like people who are in the villa from the moment on. They're not coming in as bombshells. They have to be the people with the most interesting personalities, the most fun to watch, because like people won't stick around until like episode 3 when they get their first bombshell, and then you only get 1 or maybe 2 at a time. And they just didn't. And also they cast that all the girls looked the same. And when all of the boys or all of the girls look the same, we can't remember their fucking names. And you can introduce them one by one, but you cannot introduce me to 6 brunettes with caramel highlights who are all 5'5" and they're all British. Like there's just, it's just not, it wasn't hitting like it usually does. And USA, they came in with personality right off the bat. And that's fine.
How do you feel about someone named Serena?
Mm-hmm. Serena is a part of my big three. My big three consists of Serena, Janae, and Leah. And I love Serena. Serena would be our friend, for the record. Like, Mach was like, what season if you could go into Love Island? I said, well, this season of USA, because Melissa and I've got 3 friends in there that I gotta hop in and be like, girls, come back with me. Like, I love them.
Okay. The reason I asked is because my niece, who is 17, she's been watching too. And she asked me, she said, are you watching Love Island? I said, it was loud and early.
What the fuck was that?
The mail. I don't know. They were aggressive.
That was too loud
like,
for the mail.
I'm so far away from where
multiple
it is.
rooms away.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't like that.
I didn't like it either. And they usually don't come till like later.
Oh yeah, it's too early for mail.
Yeah.
It's not mail time.
So she was asking me if I watched, and I was like, no. She's like, you gotta watch. And then she was telling me about Serena. She's like, she's an AKA. So there you go, Meghan. That's why I asked you.
No, I love that girl. And she also lives in LA. So Serena hit us up. Like, I'm your sorority sister. They're just so fun. And I think you personally, I would be shocked if Janae doesn't have Aquarius in her chart. Because the way this girl says things, that she's fully lying, she's fully being sarcastic, and nobody understands. Like, half the audience doesn't understand. People are being like, oh my God, why did Janae? Like, people are like, did you hear her say that? Like, that was so weird. Everyone's like, she's kidding. She's never going to say to you that she's kidding. If she thinks you buy along to the bit, she's doubling down and going harder, and you're fully convinced that she literally had this, like, a sit down with this guy, Kenny, and she was like, Kenny, if you like, basically being like, you know, if we don't end up together, like, who's going to pump your gas? Like, who's going to assemble your furniture? And everybody's like, Janae, like, stop being so desperate. Everyone's like, she's fucking kidding. And I think you'd find her so funny. And the guy she's with and that's the best part. So, like, Serena and Cordell and Janae and Kenny, they're like, those are like people I could see being together forever. Like, I could so see that. Leah, I don't really see her lasting with the guy she's with, but that's fine, because, like, I love Leah. Like, Leah's great. I just think that guy's not the best. But yeah, and they just did the what's it called, challenge, the heart race challenge, where, like, it's essentially not like a strip tease, but it's like a sexy little lap dance kind of thing that you do, and the goal is, like, all the boys wear heart monitors and then all the girls wear heart monitors, and it's which person gets your heart racing the most. And so everyone obviously wants, like, the person, their couple. Cordell dressed up essentially as, like, he dressed up as, like, a sexy nerd. No one's ever done that. He's talking in, like, a hello everybody, like, he's doing, like, it's like
Urkel?
Sexy Urkel, Melissa, which is, no one does that. People are like, I'm gonna be a sexy firefighter, and he's like, I'm gonna be Sexy Urkel. Serena was obsessed. She fully loved it, and, like, her heart got racing the most. And I forget what he said something like classes, and he's like, classes in session, or like something like, and it was just so funny. And, like, you can tell that they all really, like, enjoy each other's company, and I, like, loved it. So I'll find the clips so I can show you. And I will say, though, the Islanders, they had to do one where they voted who they, like, think is, like, the most untrustworthy, or who's, like, the most clout chasey, or who gives you the ick, and everybody's saying Kendall. And I knew that man fucking sucked from day one. Everyone's like, but everyone in the villa loves him. And I go, I don't believe that. That's a lie. They're on TV. They're playing the role. He's the one who's, like, very Drake Scrappy-Doo coded. Hate him. But yeah, that's my Love Island recap. By the time this comes out, it might even be done.
Tuesday?
I don't remember what day it ends. I think it ends next week.
They're just going to end it before the middle of the week?
I don't know, because it's shorter than the UK one, so I don't know. Yeah, finale ends on Monday, the 29th.
Well, do they do like follow-up?
Like a reunion? No. They might do, like, an after-sun interview, but, like, not really. They usually just do... Well, I don't actually know, because it's U.S. Love Island. I was like, they do press, ITV. But, yeah, no, I actually don't know what the U.S. ones will do. Maybe they'll go on Kelly Clarkson. I'd love that. I bet Kelly Clarkson's watching. Or J-Hud. Love that too.
Oh gosh.
So what's new with you?
Really nothing. Let me see. I wrote down a few talking points. Have you heard about this thing called raw dogging flights?
No. I'm nervous.
It's a movement by, guess what subset of people?
White people.
Not white people, but just men.
Oh,
where
okay.
They sit on a plane, but don't like look out the window. Don't bring earphones.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You meant serial killers.
They don't bring earphones. They just sit there in their thoughts. And I wanted to say, one, raw dogging, like that means that you're not using protection. Why is it called raw dogging?
They'd be protected from themselves. Like,
and then two, like, why are we also just like rebranding just sitting? Because that's all you're
men
doing.
Need to do everything.
This is what men have to say, where I'm just going to sit here.
Yeah.
It's
instead of sitting, how can we make this about fucking?
Right.
That gives me like Cody Ko vibes. I feel like he would do it. Like the same people who are like, how to like hack your productivity, blah, 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 blah. Have you ever heard of sitting with your thoughts? And I'm like, okay. Have you heard of therapy, you fucking freak?
Right.
Silence, contemplating.
Like, I raw dogged the flight for 12 hours.
How do we
And also including in the raw
that?
dogging, there's no sleep either. So you can't sleep. That's also not raw dogging.
So are
for
we supposed
12
to believe
hours,
them?
you just sat there. Okay.
It's like how men discovering like how other people have like different experiences and other people have feelings. Like, have you ever seen those videos where guys are like, I did shrooms for the first time and I realized like the experiences that I have, other people were also in those experiences. And I'm like, oh my God, you had to do shrooms to discover fucking empathy? Like, oh my God, this is giving the same vibe where it's like sitting and feeling my feelings and thinking my thoughts. No, make it a CrossFit challenge. That's crazy.
It's so fucking weird.
I wonder if there's a way for us to rebrand therapy as a challenge.
Yeah.
Then they will do it.
I'm trying to think.
We just need that Huberman, or the Wim Hof guy to do it, and then
isn't Huberman a therapist? Or is he
probably
just a
not?
life
Probably
coach?
like a Dr. Phil one. I don't think I think he's a.
Oh, he's a neuroscientist. He's not even a.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, he went to Stanford University of Medicine, so at least
he did. But yeah. He also drives me crazy. But
he does too. But at least he has actual science background.
Yeah, and so, sir, use that to convince these men on your podcast to go to therapy. Like, trick them into going.
Here's a neurohack.
Have you ever neurohack Zyn or therapy? Have you ever thought about that? I would kill for that. But that's
well. He said after a break from formal education and a reassessment of his interests influenced by therapy and psychology, he resumed his studies. So he's been to therapy.
Yeah, but he needs to get. He
needs to get everybody else on board. Yeah.
Get these bitches in there.
I'll leave a message on my fake account on his Instagram because I don't know why I have the most random shit on my Finsta that pops up and he is one of them. That's the only reason I know who he is.
Oh God, I know who he is just from random like in like chronic illness communities or like long COVID or whatever. People are like, have you ever heard of doing an ice plunge? And I'm like, they're like, my boyfriend listens to this podcast. They're like, girl. With love, let me hold your hand when I say this. Let's read over what you just said. You said, my boyfriend listens to a podcast. We already have an issue here. Why is your boyfriend listening to podcasts from men? Yeah. That's a big problem. And now you're telling me, a woman, you're recommending that? No.
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
We obviously talked about Cody Ko on A But Am I Wrong before, and now one of like the biggest commentary channels, D'Angelo Wallace, did a video about Cody Ko and basically being like the commentary community, which he was essentially a part of, which is like just talking about other people's shit, is overrun by men. It is a vast majority of men, and he was like, and we need to call out not only our own from like our community, but like another man, and that it led Brittany Broski to finally say something. Did you read what she said?
No, I saw that video though because it ended up on Twitter, but I didn't know that she had responded, and I don't know what she said.
She basically said like, well, maybe I shouldn't paraphrase it because it is actually very bad. So like, let me just get real badness of it. It's just on her Instagram story. I'm crushed to learn about the Cody allegations. If it is proven to be true, then that's extremely upsetting as a collaborator and longtime fan. I find all of this disturbing, inappropriate, and just flat out disappointing. We have no mention of Tana. We have no mention of the crime that was committed. We just have a if proven to be true. Excuse me? And also, R.I.P. I like loved my friend. Ew.
So what I'm hearing is that she wasn't going to say anything, but then people pressured her to say something, and that was the best she could come up with.
And like, it's just so embarrassing on top of like, specifically, I think she should have been one of the first people to say something. Cause like, I think she majorly fucked up and should have had like because if I could see myself having been in that circumstance when I was like younger and then being like, oh, this is a great chance for me to rectify this. Like now that someone points this out, this is really bad. But basically like a couple of months ago, Tana invited her on her podcast and she was like, girl, I love you, but like my fans would burn me at the stake if I ever like associated myself with you publicly. And like, so they'd like hang out behind the scenes or see each other and we're always like friendly. But Brittany was like, no, my fan, like you're just too problematic essentially. And Tana was like, oh, okay, like, you know, that like, I really been trying. And so like, I think it'd be cool, but like, if not, like, okay. But at the same time, then she goes on Cody's podcast. She goes on Theo Von's podcast. So like, she doesn't have an issue with problematic men. She has an issue with problematic women, which is her own problem, but then also her audience, where I'm like, if you find that your audience reacts poorly to problematic women and is fine with problematic men, that is your job to then not cater to that audience, but to like mold that audience. Because otherwise they have to then match your morals. Like you just, the same way that like you wouldn't want a fuck ton of like homophobic people following you. If you found that out, would you then cater your content to those people? And that happened a couple months ago. And so then for her not to, like, if the second that this came out, and again, it was like stark contrast to the fact that she wouldn't go on Tana's podcast, but she went on Cody's podcast. And then she was not responding. And then this is what she responded with. And I'm like, in reality, if this, as soon as this came out, it could have been like, I'm horrified to learn about this. I've had to do a lot of reflecting on my own internalized, like sexism and misogyny. Like, this is something that, is obviously not about me, but it's in these moments where I'm realizing the mistakes that I had made and up into contributing to platforming problematic men and silencing women who are deemed problematic. Like, it's just the whole thing. I'm like, and then you just do it with an if proven to be true. And I'm just like, it's not like she works for him. Like, I hold the same way I did with like the David Dobrik circumstance with the women who worked with David Dobrik. Not Natalie, everybody. I mean, I mostly mean Carly and Aaron. But like, for those people, I don't think that I hold people who are either working for him under a different set of expectations than people who have amassed their success in their own right, completely detached from him, who have done one-off collab videos. Like, she's not going to lose her job if she says, like, speaks out against him versus people who work for him. And again, I specifically mean like women in those circumstances. Like, and she's giving that vibe of being like, oh my God, if this is true, like, this is like so sad. And I'm like, you're a woman who talks about, okay, what do you mean if proven to be true? What do you want? If this was not true, Cody could have, he could say that so fucking easily. People don't stay silent. Like, no. And also, like, people will always like rationalize and justify, or even like blanket statement being like, I know Tana's problematic, but this is really bad. And I'm like, those things are unrelated. But like, of like any, like, it's just so funny to me because I'm like, even the very weak arguments that are not real, when people are like, oh, people just like make accusations of like sexual for clout. And I go, that doesn't happen. And also, if it did, does that apply to this situation? Like, somehow all of the things that people say when people are making them up somehow also doesn't apply to this. Like, this is someone who has been saying the same thing for years. Like, she's not even pressing charges against him. Like, she's not trying to like, quote unquote, ruin his life or whatever. She's just like talking about her experience and how disappointing it is the older that she gets. And like, that somehow goes, no, can't be true. And it does drive me fucking crazy because I saw someone else who was like, if I find out that the Basement Yard Boys have like done anything, like, you guys, I don't know how I'm going to like move on if another one of my, like, if what another one of these boys does something. And the way I so badly wanted to comment, hi, have you ever heard of women? Like, maybe start following women who are creators. Like, maybe don't, if you're like, oh my God, I won't be able to handle it if one of these guys, like, no, they're one of the good ones. Statistically, I would encourage you to think of this thing and support this thing called women. It's a little easier.
Yeah.
But I hope that there's going to be more people speaking out about this, so he actually has to say something.
Well, on a lighter note.
Good one.
I have quit all gaming.
Me, as I'm literally gaming. What happened? Whoa, so you're raw dogging life? You're crazy. Who taught you that? Huberman?
Yes. I neurohacked life. Maybe it's just a sabbatical, but I've deleted everything. I'm not playing anything. I removed myself from all the Reddits and Facebook groups I'm a part of. It's been going maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. We've just had other things to talk about, so I didn't bring it up.
Wow, how does it feel to be better than everyone else?
I wouldn't even say it's better, but I just felt like I was putting too much on it, especially the Marvel game. There's so much that you have to contribute every day. Yeah. Where it was like 2 or 3 hours out of my day that I would have to be on that game.
Oh yeah, that sounds stressful.
And I was just like, I can't do this, and I'm like letting my team down. So I stopped playing.
Yeah,
if it was like an individual game, maybe I would still play, but It was just too much, because then if it was individual, then I wouldn't have to be dependent. Other people wouldn't be dependent on me. So I could slack off on the days where I had too much going on.
Yeah, that's why I don't like team sports. Like the idea of other people, like multiple people really counting on, I can't. Like that's so stressful. I get overwhelmed and then I can't even perform to the same level I can if it's just me or one other person or whatever that is. Well, I support you.
Thank you. Even with the Monopoly game, like I enjoyed it, but then it was like the group stuff comes up and I'm just like, sometimes I can't do this. Or like the trading cards were just getting on my nerves.
Yeah, they're getting on my nerves right now too.
So
I go through phases of like, I'm done for like 4 days and then I go, I'll play it again and I'll play it casually. And then I'll do like a week where I'm like, or like a day where I'm like deeply trading and then like another month where I don't do anything. So it's a little bit easier, but yeah, if they had a constant thing to teammates, I would be stressed too.
Yeah.
That's not a fun dynamic.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all, I'm JJ.
Hey, guys, it's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests to share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
Hey everyone, join me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melisa DeMonts, for Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong?
Each week, we deliver 4 fun-filled shows.
In Don't Blame Me, we tackle our listeners' dilemmas with hilariously honest advice.
Then we have But Am I Wrong, which is for the listeners that didn't take our advice. Plus, we share our hot takes on current events.
Then tune in to See You Next Tuesday for our listener poll results from But Am I Wrong?
And finally, wrap up your week with Fisting Friday, where we catch up and talk all things pop culture.
Listen to Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Oh, this one's crazy. So, did you hear that? Also, I might be spreading misinformation, but I think this is real. That Donna Kelce has announced that she will be in Holiday Touchdown, A Chief's Love Story, which is the Hallmark Christmas movie about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
I don't know who that is.
His mother.
Oh.
Everyone's like, is she
when you said
Mrs.
Kelce,
Claus?
I was thinking like Kelsey is Kelsey.
And I just have, no, it's true. Yeah. Look who's joining for Holiday Touchdown, Cheese Love Story. Please welcome America's football mom, Donna Kelce, to the cast. Like, what?
So is she playing herself?
I don't know. Or I don't know if they're going to have her play like Mrs. Claus or like a quaint little bakery owner or like a mysterious woman with a secret. Like there's something like so. And to me, it's giving the same vibe. Like imagine if like well, okay, it's slightly different because they're not on speaking terms. But like if Meghan Markle's dad was like in the Hallmark one that they made as like a recreation of Meghan and Harry. Or like her mom. First of all, her mom would never. But like, what? It's so interesting. And just imagine, like the way I would feel so uncomfortable, like if I'm the man who's like supposed to be playing Travis Kelce and like his mom is right there, like is he gonna be, so tell me about Travis when he was a kid. Like you're also not beating the allegations that I thought it was just supposed to be like loosely inspired. But the fact that it's called A Chief's Love Story, I'm starting to think this might be branded by the Kansas City Chiefs.
It's fucking weird.
Isn't it? Who's the audience for that?
Children.
Because I don't think it's, I would venture to say the vast majority of Swifties would be like, no, that's even the ones that like I don't align with, I think they would dislike it for different reasons. But like,
I think people that are obsessed with them as a love story, baby, just say yes. That's what it should have been.
Facts. Touchdown to my heart.
But those people are going to eat this up in children. That's what it's going to be. And I'm going to say it now. We will not be doing a But Am I Now Watching for this movie?
No. Like, truly, you would have to duct tape me to a chair like a belligerent passenger on a Boeing 787. Like, you would have to have
forceps pry my eyes open.
Exactly. And you'd have to, like, put some sort of Ursula curse on my voice box so I couldn't hum it out, so I don't have to listen. Like, I just need, as a whole, even in high budget things where you're playing real people, sometimes that shit is wild. Also, sometimes it gives us a very different depiction of history. Like when I saw pictures of Jackie Kennedy and I said, oh, I think it's fine when we take liberties with casting choices. Like, that's totally fine. But I will say, as someone who Jackie Kennedy has been portrayed in film and television for the vast majority of my life, I had a different image.
Not just that. It's not even just the portrayals in media, but also like media as in like the arts that take liberties, but also media as in print and radio of the time. They characterized her in a very certain way.
Totally. And like, I think that when the people are dead, you know, you're having to grapple with, is their ghost going to be here? And, you know, what's her name? Ana de Armas said that Marilyn's ghost was there and she approved. And I'm so happy for her. But I'm going to promise you there are some other people who are dead who are not loving the depictions. But then then you're like, oh, well,
and I
we'll
don't
just
think that Marilyn was there for Anna either.
I don't know. Marilyn was like, bitch, I have things to do.
She was like, bitch, I did not sound like that.
No. And then like we have like the people who are doing depictions when that person is alive. And that to me is like, what are you more afraid of? The ghosts you can't see or the ones you can? And what a brave, like, I salute these actors in their bravery, because you are essentially signing on for multiple fan bases to absolutely hate you. Because like, regardless of what you do, it's never going to be like to the level that they want. Like, it's just such a, oh, it's so wild. And the only reason why people enjoyed like the Meghan Harry ones or whatever is because anytime people can have fiction that creates them and justifies them to have more hate towards Meghan Markle, they froth at the mouth for it. So like, this to me is just, this is a brand deal. This is giving like what Colonel Sanders would need to like a movie.
Played by
Mario
Lopez. Which no one ever talked about.
Liberties.
Right. No one ever talked about it. I remember people were talking about it leading up to it, but then after it aired, I didn't hear one peep from anyone. And I didn't watch it, so I can't.
Contract was signed. He did hashtag ad and it was over.
Yeah. But I mean, even viewers, no one said anything.
I wonder if this will be that, but like.
Oh, I think children are going to eat this shit up.
What's that?
Like that girl that was at the concert next to you that was screaming so loud. She's going to love it.
We were talking about her yesterday. I once literally like brought her up. We were talking about like loud concerts, and Mons was like, I wish nothing but bad things for that fucking. And I was like, that was a child. And he was like, too old. She was in middle school. And I was like, okay, facts. But yeah, like, and I just like imagine like going to Thanksgiving at your boyfriend's house and his mom is like, I'm so excited about my TV debut. And you're like, oh my God, who are you playing? And she's like, oh, I'm playing myself in a movie rendition about your love life. What?
I'm sure that they already had the conversation beforehand.
I know, but I just have so many questions how this is happening. Like, it's so suspicious. So suspicious. Oh, and the last thing I was going to tell you is Mons and his dad built the planter boxes in one day. So fast. They look great. I stained them, except the sun was going down, so I don't know how even they are of a stain, so I'll probably have to add another coat today. But we're in business. I'm going to start planting shit. Call me Farmer Meghan.
What are you going to plant?
Now that's the question on everyone's lips. Everyone's asking me. And so I want to plant carrots, not because I eat a lot of carrots, but because I love how you pull them out. I think that's so fun.
Get potatoes in there too.
So I have potatoes that are growing in a separate thing already, but Mott's forgot to water them, even though he told me he was. And I was like, these bitches are fucking dying. So hopefully I can revive those. I want to grow onions. I want to grow garlic. I want to grow zucchini. I want to grow snap peas. I could grow a squash. Mott's isn't like in love. I would love to grow watermelon. I don't know if we have enough sun. Well, it's LA, so we should be fine. Mm-hmm. I think growing a pumpkin to carve could be fun.
I hear pumpkin takes over everything though.
Yeah, I would have to do that separate.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to do strawberries and blueberries somewhere else. Probably not in those ones. Like do bushes of those. My nephew asked if we can plant a plant that makes toys. So gotta figure that one out.
You can just put a toy in the ground.
Yeah, he'd be so...
bury it, and then dig it out.
He'll have too many questions. That kid is way too fucking smart. Like, and I'll be like, I don't know.
Did you know that the library has a free... You can just go get seeds. They have like a seed library.
Writing that down. Seed library. Okay. Wow, maybe we'll do that this week. The other project that Monta's mom and I were doing, we were repotting our big planters that are like on either side of like the entrance of the house. And we like did one easy as could be. We started working on the second one. We're like, why is this so hard? They're the same plants that are in there. And I was like, I think a squirrel like dropped a seed in here and it's like trying to make a tree. We finally like lift it up and there is a huge root that is burst through the bottom of this pot that has grown, and there's like a whole bird of paradise, which is next to it, like a giant plant that is trying to then grow in this tiny little pot. Oh, so wow. That was crazy. But we redid the other one, and we're gonna do our little balcony plants, and they'll look really cute. So she's like, they're just like on top of it with the projects. Like they were working on the box, and she was like, "Should we clean that room, your office? That's messy." And I was like, Caroline, you're not supposed to see the office. She goes, you post it on Instagram. Of course I'm going to see it. And I was like, shh.
True. That's on you, Meghan. That's on
you,
Meghan.
I said, it's a huge difference seeing it in person versus seeing it online. And I was like, it's fine. I cleaned the house for you. And this is the room that got dirty. And she goes, well, let's clean that room. And I'm like, no. So, yeah, I was showing her more episodes of Abbott, which she loves. But that's what I've been up to. Because they've been here since, I think they got here on Monday. Mm-hmm. And they leave Monday. I don't know actually when they leave.
Didn't we just find this out like 2 minutes ago or an hour ago when we first started recording? That was the question that you were asking.
No, the question was, can we do a live stream on Friday?
And then you said, I don't know if they're leaving Monday or Tuesday. And I thought you said, I'm asking mods.
Oh, maybe I think I said that, but I don't think I did it. I think you're probably right.
Merry Christmas, everybody! My name is Eric Peterson. I'm here with my good buddy,
Danny Jordan.
And we are the hosts of Christmas Countdown Show.
We're so thrilled to be bringing the merriment to you all this holiday season. On Christmas Countdown, we love to count down our top 10 favorite things related to the holiday season. That could be food, movies, music, everything that we all love about this massively merry good time. So wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you click that subscribe button. Eric, are you ready?
I am ready, and we hope that you are too. Merry Christmas, everybody! Let's go!
Do you love Disney? Then you are going to love our hit podcast, Disney Countdown. I'm Megan, the Magical Millennial.
And I'm the Dapper Danielle.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. There is nothing we don't cover.
We are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed, but you definitely need in your life. So if you're looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, they leave Sunday or Monday, I think, waiting on Matsu's reply. He's at lunch with the recruiter.
Oh, I was waiting on his reply about live stream.
Oh. I put the two together.
Yeah, you did. That's fine.
Yeah, I've been, I don't know, just been living life.
Live and let live.
Went out in the streets on Friday.
Oh, like an event?
Like we're playing music and there's vendors here and just come hang out.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Did you meet anyone cool or did you go with people you know?
I went with Samantha and my other Meghan that's here.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
I need to do more things like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of free stuff around LA to do.
Yeah, now that it's like officially getting like hot, there's nothing to do besides things that are fun because like you can't even like be physically productive when it's like 90 something degrees out.
Right. So Samantha had learned about it. I was like, it's only 6 minutes away from me. I didn't even know it was there.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I love that. Did you head to the illegal casino that has been blowing up on the Ask Los Angeles subreddit where someone said...
The one that got busted?
Well, I don't know if it got busted yet, but it was like,
there's
an illegal casino. Oh my God, I wonder if the Reddit thread blew it up. They were like, illegal casino on my block, what do I do? And everyone's like, drop the address? Like,
there was somebody, I saw on TikTok, somebody was driving by this place and it was just like 50 people outside getting arrested. And they were like, what is going on here? And then the people in the comments were like, there's an illegal casino going on upstairs. So it's got to be the same thing, right? Unless there's other ones.
It has to be the same. And they were like, literally being like, this is so frustrating, like all of these things. And everybody is like, okay, cut the bullshit. Let me know where and what's the buy. And so like this person was getting like frustrated and annoyed because it's like, oh my God, no, I'm like asking for help. Like I'm trying to like, you know, call in my community to like help me help you. Come on. And everybody's like uninterested. What games are they playing? And I was like, same way. Loving that.
It's probably the cops, TBH, saying that.
It's always I was going to say it's also, and you also know the cops who are already attending there going, uh-oh, time for me to swap precincts. Oopsies. Time for me to pretend I've been undercover this whole time.
Right.
Yikes.
Yeah, I saw that on. I think it was like last night. Maybe I was scrolling. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
That's because I think it was posted like 5 days ago. That's so funny. And I literally was like, I need to check back to see if they ever released where it was because they weren't saying like they're like I'm in the city of Los Angeles.
And so I get mad on TikTok because I'll like look at a restaurant will pop up and I'll be like, "Ooh, that's good," and then it'll be like in like Chatsworth or something. I'm like, this is not LA. Let's be honest. And so I was scrolling and I was like, yeah, right. This isn't LA. Nope, it is LA.
Yeah, I have strong feelings about it's important for us to use the word city or county.
Yes.
Because the county of Los Angeles is not the same thing as the city of Los Angeles. And then also the city of Los Angeles within quotation marks, which we're counting places like Santa Monica and West Hollywood. Like they may not vote with us, but like you're within the same general borders.
Right.
But yeah, that is so funny. I can't believe that's what a full circle. I get half of it. I get like the prelim. You get the conclusion. That is very satisfying. What a nice result.
We got a full story.
Though. Yeah. Well, like I am obsessed with. Do you ever see Molly's Game? I love it. There's nothing I love more than a bitch taking men's money, doing her shit. And like, I live for that. And like, when she got arrested, I was like, why are you trying to stop this? Why are you dulling her sparkle? Like and so as soon as I read this one, I was like, I've been yearning for another case like this because, you know, we haven't had any headway on is, well, I'm convinced are women, but the people who robbed that bank in LA and they just like cut a hole and they saw it the next morning and we're not hearing shit about it because those women are never gonna get caught. And I know they're women because that's why they were able to do this so successfully. Silent communication in and out in 5 minutes and we're not hearing about it. So I was like, ooh, illegal casino. This is gonna go on for a while, but I guess it's already wrapped up.
I heard about this bank robbery that happened, I believe, in the 70s. and like nobody could figure out who it was. And they're just like, this will never get solved. And then 5 days before the statute of limitations ran out, a man confessed to it. I was like, you couldn't wait 5 days. You could have just like gotten away with this, truly.
And this is why if I'm ever robbing a bank, I am not doing it with a man.
Exactly.
That's so embarrassing. Like, that's actually, there's nothing more embarrassing. Like, I think it's less embarrassing to get caught than it is to be like, I'm turning myself in.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're turning yourself in? That's ridiculous. And embarrassing. And it makes me want to watch Ocean's 8.
Unless you're like dying that day, there's no reason to say.
But also, like, you could also just pull, and it's different because crimes against women versus crimes against banks. There's a difference between that and like OJ having his kids sign NDAs on his fucking deathbed.
Yes.
And that actually tells me all I need to know, which is not anything I didn't already know.
I mean, he wrote a whole book about.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, it's a complicated situation.
All right. I think that's a good.
Do you like? I'm kidding.
No, let us know. Let us know.
Oh, no, you're right. Let us know. No judgment here. No hard. We're just curious. We won't tell.
All right. That is the end of the episode. We'll see you on Thursday for But Am I Wrong? Friday for Fisting Friday. Monday for Don't Blame Me. And then we'll be back here on Tuesday for See You Next Tuesday.
Goodbye.
Welcome to the small town of Chinook, where faith runs deep and secrets run deeper. In this new thriller, religion and crime collide when a gruesome murder rocks the isolated Montana community. Everyone is quick to point their fingers at a drug-addicted teenager, but local deputy Ruth Vogel isn't convinced. She suspects connections to a powerful religious group. Enter federal agent V.B. Laureau, who has been investigating a local church for possible criminal activity. The pair form an unlikely partnership to catch the killer, unearthing secrets that leave Ruth torn between her duty to the law, her religious convictions, and her very own family. But something more sinister than murder is afoot, and someone is watching Ruth. Chinook, starring Kelly Marie Tran and Sanaa Lathan. Listen to Chinook wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, this is Rob Benedict.
And I am Richard Spate. We were both on a little show you might know called Supernatural.
It had a pretty good run, 15 seasons, 327 episodes.
And though we have seen, of course, every episode many times, we figured, hey, now that we're wrapped, let's watch it all again.
And we can't do that alone, so we're inviting the cast and crew that made the show along for the ride. We've got writers, producers, composers, directors, and we'll of course have some actors on as well, including some certain guys that played some certain pretty iconic brothers.
It was kind of a little bit of a left field choice in the best way possible.
The note from Kripke was, he's great, we love him, but we're looking for like a really intelligent Duchovny type.
With 15 seasons to explore, it's going to be the road trip of several lifetimes. So please join us and subscribe to Supernatural Then and Now.
Bitches on Comics is a bi-monthly interview podcast where we talk to the coolest LGBTQ plus folks and women in comics and pop culture.
Our unique perspectives and welcoming nature have earned us the honor of being named a best comic book podcast by Book Riot, Screen Rant, The Mary Sue, Comic Book Herald, and Comic Book Couples Counseling.
Bitches on Comics is hosted by moi, Monica Estrella Negra, filmmaker, writer, and co-founder of Audrey's Revenge Film,
and me, Essie Fleenor, comic and pop culture nerd and culture critic critic with writing in The Independent, Vice, Electric Literature, Star Trek, and so much more.
We're also both voting members of Gallica, the Society of LGBTQ+ Entertainment Critics.
Join Bitches on Comics for in-depth, hilarious, and heartfelt conversations with the likes of Stephanie Williams, Leah Anderson, and the late, great Rachel Pollack.
Listen to Bitches on Comics on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Or tune in at bitchesoncomics.com. New episodes every other Wednesday.